For this video, I'm going to be demonstrating the Statcrunch software. Statcrunch is a free, well, it's not free, but it's a free software for your textbook, or you should have access to it for free. So if you just click in your course, text and homework, this will bring you to my stat lab, or rather the links to my stat lab. Again, you won't have as many options here as a student. Just click the course home, and it'll bring you into my stat lab. Once you're in my stat lab, if you click on Statcrunch, this is a statistical software that allows you to do a lot of things pretty quickly. You have two options. I would prefer the first option here because it actually includes the data sets that come with your textbook. So you could, work on homework questions this way and duplicate a lot of the graphs they have in your textbook. So I'm going to demonstrate the different quantitative graphs that you saw in the lecture earlier for the Chapter 2. So just click on Chapter 2 datasets and let's use the EPA gas dataset. So here's the MPG rating for those 100 vehicles that you saw earlier. And let's generate the three graphs I generated, which was a histogram, a Stemleaf plot, and a dot plot. If you click on graph, you have a lot of options. A lot of these really don't make sense for our case, like pie charts and bar graphs. Since we have quantitative data, those won't work. But we can do a histogram. So let's create a histogram. To create a histogram, select the variable you want. We only have one variable, so select that one, MPG. The rest of the stuff isn't necessary, but if you'd like to add a title or axes or label your axes, like maybe call this fuel efficiency. I don't remember how to spell fuel. Okay, we'll just pretend that's right. Measured in miles per gallon. By default, it labels the y-axis frequency if you don't put anything in there. You can play around with these options if you like. I normally just leave them the way they are. And then click Compute. And as you see, it makes a cute little frequency distribution. You could have added a title as well, and you can edit things just by clicking like I did. Where's the title option? Histogram rating of 100 new cars. Okay, and as you see, it added a title at the top. It's not exactly the most attractive drawing, but it is a histogram and it does work. To copy this and bring it into Word or another program, that's a little bit trickier. It's not as nice as Excel where you can just press Control-C, Control-V, and you're done. To copy, just click Options, Copy. When you're over it, it actually gives you directions on what you can do. So you can just right-click and click Copy. That's not an issue. But then when you're in Word, you can't just right-click and press Paste. It won't work. You see none of these options give you what you want. And Control-V doesn't work either. What you have to do is you have to do Control-Alt-V, and it brings up more options. Then click the Device Independent Bitmap, and that will work. I don't know why the other options don't work. I'm not a computer scientist, but I know how to get it to work. Just do that. All right, and that goes for all the fancy graphics in this program. All right, let me show you how to do some other ones. Hit Graph, Stemleaf Plot. Again, make sure you select your variable. There's other options in here. For this one, you're going to want to select the leaf unit because by default, the default's bad. Let's put it that way. You want to make sure that you pick the tenths place because that's what worked for this data set. You don't need to do any outline or trimming, but you can if you like. So in other words, do you want to cross off any very large or very small observations? And then click Compute. And here you go. You can just highlight, since these are just words and text, you can actually just select everything and copy and paste. Make sure though when you paste it into Word, you select a font like Courier New or it's not going to look quite right. See, by default, it makes it Courier New. All right, so last one. Let's go back. Let's do a graph. We could do a dot plot. These don't come out as nicely, but it's still pretty quick and easy to do. Again, make sure MPG is highlighted. You can change the size of each dot if you like to make them bigger or smaller. You don't have to, but you can. You can change, I think, the color scheme a little bit, change the labels. Whatever you want to play with, you can. Click Compute, and as you see, it makes a nice little dot plot. It's pretty plain, but you can alter it a little bit by just grabbing the corner and just changing the size that way. And then when you're happy, you just do the copy option. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot. Options, copy. So I'm just going to copy it, and then you can paste it into whatever you want to paste it into. But again, you have to do the Control-Alt-V, device independent bitmap, paste. And that's it. I hope you learned something. And again, just feel free to play around. This is actually pretty cool and pretty easy software to use. And it's useful in the fact that it has all your homework data set in there as well. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.